call that Friday for me, but that's just different. Good morning. It is 19 minutes after 8 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning, Chaves County Manager Bill Williams back with us. Morning, sir.
Good morning. How are you today?
Doing great. How about yourself?
I'm doing well, but I'm a little concerned about Sean.
Yeah, well, that's...
Well, when I came in, he had a Big Mac taken apart, and he had the buns turned upside down on
He's
both
trying
sides.
that with everything now. Now that he got blown away with the biscuit.
Well, the biscuits, I understood. I'm wondering how that's going to be. I'm going to have to try it out. But the Big Mac, I think he's carrying it too far.
Yeah, and I think he wants to do peanut butter and jelly next, where he puts the peanut butter and the jelly on the outside.
Well, that sounds like Sean.
I don't think he realizes it's going to make his hands messy, but he'll figure it out. First off, good morning. Are you how's you guys doing okay weather-wise and all that?
We're doing okay. There are a lot of people that need our prayers, with
Sure.
the water going across their places and flood waters. We had the Felice River came down last night very quickly, very high. I want to encourage people to stay away from water crossings, turn
Sure.
around, don't try to go through them,
Yeah.
all the usual stuff. But we've had a lot of water.
It's one of these things where, like, I don't know. I had I don't know if you know Andrew Gray's Gray's Farm folks.
Yes.
They were on the radio a couple days ago, and I was asking, I was like, "Is this a good thing or a bad thing?" And it's like, well, if you love green chili, it's a good thing. Alfalfa, not so much right now.
Well, my little brother's a farmer down on the county line, and he says we got our corn in just in time. So
Yeah, it is a blessing and a curse right now, but we'll take what we can
Well,
get.
I told my brother I had my weeds in just in time. So they're coming in good. Those seeds are going to sprout.
I got them nice and ready. They're going to flourish. But our main discussion here, it's not a county commission week here, so that's. But one thing that every pretty much municipality, city, county, entity of that municipality has to have a list. And it's called the ICIP.
So close.
Yeah, ICIP. It's basically the Infrastructure Capital Improvement Program
Plan.
Okay, and basically it's a list that it's like kind of like a dream sheet a little bit, but it's a little bit not less. It's not dreams per se. It's more like, hey, these are projects that our community needs to get done.
Right.
If there's state funding available, they'll kind of look at everyone's list and decide which ones they'll fund and things like that.
It's a 5-year list, so every year we go over it and we update it and we prioritize each thing. Mm-hmm. It may be something that we don't expect to happen for 4 or 5 years, but depending on how funding availability is, things change priorities really quickly. For instance, one of the things that we want to prioritize this year that is actually, I think it's number 25 on year 2025 or something on my list from last year, is a new health department.
Okay.
With all the COVID funding that has become available. We had the CARES Act, and that was good for helping a lot of our community members out who lost money with their restaurants or whatever. So we were able to help those businesses out. But the Rescue Act funds can be used for a lot of other things, including pandemic response and improvements to mental health care, kind of all the things that the health department does.
Sure.
Making sure women and children are taken care of. They've got the WIC program with the health department and those kind of things.
So you can use it as more of their infrastructure-based programs and things, too.
And they still have the interim final rule. That's kind of one of those oxymorons, interim final rule. That's kind of a strange one.
That's like I don't know. I was going to do something really stupid.
Military intelligence.
Yeah, exactly.
Jumbo shrimp.
Yeah, all those. But yes.
But anyway, they have the interim final rule that is still being worked through, I guess, to tell us what we can use money for. But there are areas where it says infrastructure improvements to healthcare and those kind of things. So one of the things we want to do, because our great grandkids are going to be paying for this trillions of dollars of bailout package.
Yeah,
and so,
exactly.
A couple of years from now, say, what did you remember when we got a check for the? Yeah, what was that for? Well, I'm not real sure. I think it was for, but I know I bought a boat. That's what people are going to remember about the money. Well, we hope that we can, since we're going to be paying for this for generations, that we can come up with something to use it for here in Chaves County.
So it's more of an investment in our future.
More of an investment in our future. So one of our goals is to try to build a new health department
great.
and use as much of the CARES Act money as we can to help pay for that. So our community will have something, whether they realize that's where the money came from or not. 50 years from now, they'll actually be getting something out of it rather than.
So it's not a bridge to nowhere.
I sunk that boat in 2024.
Yeah.
You know?
That was a lovely sign we bought with that. Yeah, exactly.
So, we try to adjust our list based on what the likelihood of getting money is.
Sure.
And so because we have so much support right now for that, the health department thing is going to move up substantially on our list of things.
Yeah, is it kind of one of those things where you as a commission and the county has to kind of read the tea leaves a little bit and it's like, okay, they're really sentimental towards projects that do this, so maybe we should make our list cater to that so we'll get more money? Is that a philosophy, or is it a little different?
In a lot of ways, sometimes money will become available for some legislators are pushing to do a certain thing, and so that will help you to identify a project that probably wouldn't get funding normally, and you might want to move it forward. And then we do a presentation to the legislators later in the year too, and we can only do our top 5, 3 or 5 projects, and ask them if they can assist us with money. And
sure.
So like I say, we're going to move up our health department thing. There's money already available that we can use. We don't know to what level at this point.
Okay.
So we're going to ask for additional money. We're going to try real hard to see if we can make that come to fruition.
Gotcha.
That's just kind of the way it works.
I've always, and this is the one part I wasn't sure about and how the ICIPs work and things. Are we kind of in competition with other cities and counties? Like if their list, because I know you got to prioritize things, and so if someone has something that's like similar, higher, are we competing again for that money, or is it?
Well,
is it where everyone gets it?
I wouldn't say that, because it has to be on our ICIP for us to request money from, whether it's CDBG funding, community development block grant, whether it's money from the legislators, whether it's some other pool of money that comes forward. It's got to be on this list to say that, you can't just pull it out of the hat. Oh yeah, we've been wanting that for years.
Yeah, we want it too.
So we have items on here that have been here 10 years or more.
Gotcha.
I added the health department about 6 years ago, I think.
Okay.
Because we realized that infrastructure is getting old. So it's been on here for a while, but it's never risen real high in priority.
Okay.
We've also had things like a voter warehouse. We've had things like a cooperative extension service building replacement. So there's a lot of things that.
I guess like, say for like, just as an example, like say we're asking for a health department and Lincoln County's asking for a health department, but it's like number 22 on our list, but number 2 on their list.
Right.
Will they get priority to us on that, or how does that? That's the part I don't really understand.
It's the presentation that you give, but if you're going in front of the legislators and asking them for assistance in funding a project, and it's number 22 on your list, they're probably not going to give you a whole lot of.
Okay.
But
so
if it's something you really need and you can show the need, yes, they have to make those hard decisions all the time, and they may or may not be able to have money to assist us in this year.
Gotcha.
But if they do, we want to be sure that we can show the need and show the benefit it's going to bring to the community to do it.
Okay.
And kind of on that line, the main reason I'm here today is I want to invite people to come to our county commission meeting and it's been moved 1 week forward. So it'll be July 22nd.
So it's actually the 4th. Would that be the 4th Thursday this month?
Yes.
Okay.
And we want to invite people to come out because we have a public hearing where you can, give us, if you have an idea for a project or whatever, they have limited time that people can speak and tell us kind of what they'd like to see.
Sure.
Or if there's something that we're working on and they want to give us a thumbs up and say, yeah, push that.
Yeah.
Or that one's a bad idea.
So for instance, if we're talking about the health department and you're thinking, yeah, it's about time we do that, go and say, yeah, you guys nailed it right there. Or if you're thinking, you know what, I get what you're saying, but I think you need to make this a bigger priority, and you get to say that and say why to that and let the commissioners mull that over before they make their final decisions.
And that's a part of the process. We have to involve the community. That's why we have public hearings. And there are opportunities for people to come and speak, but we just want to be sure that we go out and say, everyone come in. And now that we're doing the Facebook thing, we're still learning. Obviously, everyone knows that that's new to us at the county, but we do take the questions off the Facebook thing. So if you can't make it down there, but you want to get on and say, hey, what about?
Yeah. Someone's monitoring. Someone will address those questions at appropriate time.
I can't say that project, if you call up and say, hey, I want a new racetrack. I can't say it's going to make the list, but
Sure.
but you certainly have the right to call up and say,
Well,
hey, yeah, we want.
And I would imagine, too, there's going to be decisions that the commission makes and look, and then there's going to be items that are like on the fence on. It's like, well, maybe, and just that last bit of, okay, I think it's a good project, but I'm not sure what the community's going to think. And then there's a bunch of people saying, you know what, that's the one that's going to push that over a little bit, saying, you know what, that is a bigger priority than I realized. We need to make sure that's a little higher on the list.
Yeah, and that's kind of the process. We go through every department. So the sheriff will do it, the detention center, the facility maintenance, public services. Everyone will put together their list of projects. They turn them in. We go through them. We do our stab at prioritizing them. We give them to the commissioners and say, here's the list. We kind of think maybe they should be in this order, and the commissioners will fool you every time. They'll say, I like number 18. Let's move that up to number 4.
Sure. Well,
but they have their reasons for that.
Sure. Well, their job is to see the big picture, and obviously each department head, their main focus is their department.
Right.
So the commission has to balance the whole county, where each department is just balancing what's going on in their piece of the world.
So on last year's, our number 1 priority was the Pecos Valley Dispatch and Emergency Services. That's been on our ICIP for several years, but we've committed to really improving the space that they have for dispatch. There's been a push community-wide to assist dispatch with having a better space, and we're in the position to be able to do that. We've got the space. It's been on our list for a while. And we're adding, believe it or not, bathrooms to that part of the building so that we can extend the use of it. And by adding dispatch in there,
that's a real improvement to emergency services.
Yes, it adds a whole new meaning to emergency. But that's one of the things. And another project that we actually were funded for, the legislators, our local legislators, I can't give those guys enough kudos and high fives, because they figure out how to make the little bit of money they get go a long way across their districts. And they take each one of these projects and they weigh its merit and how it's going to affect the community and have to make those decisions and fund them.
Sure.
A couple of years ago, our legislators felt like the bridge on McGaffey out towards not McGaffey, it's on Brasher.
Yes.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I
knew what you were talking about, but my head, because I'm bad at street names, I'm the worst. I'm like, over by that, I keep saying Hobbs. Like, no, that's not. It's Union.
It's the Brasher Bridge.
Yeah.
There is a very narrow bridge going over the Hondo Channel. It's on the way to the city landfill. There's a new concrete company there called Chance Materials that built in there. There's a lot of truck traffic, and the way that bridge is designed, it's narrow. The bridge isn't going to fall down or anything. It's a solid bridge. It's just very narrow, and it rises up to cross the river. Well, when a road is that narrow or a bridge is that narrow, people tend to migrate to the center of the road. So I don't know how many times I've been driving along, and all of a sudden over the horizon you see a semi coming right down the middle of the road. And there's a lot of truck traffic on there. And so that was one of the things whenever that neighborhood had the public hearing about the concrete plant going in. This was an opportunity for people to come out and tell what they thought, speak their mind, which is what we're asking for in the ICIP.
Sure.
They came forward and says, oh, hold on. We're a little concerned about a concrete company because of this bridge here. And they made it known. We weren't really aware that was such an issue until the public brought it to our attention. All those neighbors came in and said, hey, you guys got to do something about this. So we immediately put that on our ICIP list. We immediately presented that to the legislators, and they funded it.
Good.
100%.
That's kind of how it works, right?
Yeah, we see that needs to be done, and we're 100% behind you. And so they put it on our legislative capital outlay list a couple of years ago. Unfortunately, there is one more layer to that, and that's the government or the governor's veto, and they can line item veto that particular project. We were so pumped and excited. This is the way government's supposed to work. People come forward with a problem. We listen. We do what we're supposed to.
Government in
put it
action.
Forward. Other agencies help us fund it. We get the job done. We're so excited. And then it got vetoed. So that one is still big on our list. It's one of the things that we would like to see done again or funded again, and hopefully it'll make it all the way through the process this time. But again, the legislators, they listen to the people, and I mean, that's why we hire them.
Yeah.
That's why we vote them in.
Sure. And the onus too is on us, the community. You need to bring these things to the attention of our elected and county officials and things like that are going on because, like you said, it's just we got a big county. We got a lot of places. We can't know every little thing that's going on in every little inch of this thing. We need people to tell these folks so they can act accordingly, and they'll send the folks out and say, yeah, you nailed it. We need to do something about this, or maybe we can do this instead, or something like that.
Another thing, too, that a lot of people don't understand, we're fiscal agent for a lot of organizations such as the veterans, you know, the transportation. The veterans vans, they put those on an ICIP. They turn them into us. We put them on our list because we're their fiscal agent. And when they need a van, we put that forth to the legislators. And they've been very good as far as taking care of our veterans. And so they usually fund those when they need it. And of course, those guys are great keeping up, making sure that they get people where they need to go.
They're providing a great service to our residents, you know, our veterans and things. So when people say, well, why do you fund that? It's because they are providing services to our residents that the county just doesn't have the resources, manpower to do.
And you know, county funds aren't really going to it. We're their fiscal agents, so we help them with the paperwork, but they're doing all the work. They're doing the presentations to the legislators, asking for the money, explaining why they need a van and why it has to have a certain kind of a wheelchair lift, all that stuff. We also do Senior Olympics. You know, there's a lot of these agencies people don't understand, but they put their package together and say, we need this to improve our service to our community, and we're their fiscal agents, so we turn it in. But they do all the legwork. So again, come down. If you're into the Senior Olympics, call them and say, hey, what's your ICIP request? We want to be sure and support that.
Absolutely. Yeah. So the meeting that's coming up next
the 22nd.
22nd, that's right.
2 Thursdays.
That's 2 Thursdays. I don't know, for some reason I think I've been in July for like 2 weeks now. I know July really just started yesterday for us, but what is it, the 3rd? Or today's the 3rd or 2nd, right?
What?
So
today's the 2nd.
I don't even know what day it is. I'm like, I don't know. I just feel like I've been in July for a month now. So yeah, July 22nd. We got a couple Thursdays.
Well,
from now.
The interesting thing is it's been kind of a blur because it started raining at the end of May.
Yeah,
and there have been a lot of issues with the rain this time. We're thankful for the rain and praying that it just hits certain spots at this point.
That's right.
Or doesn't hit other spots. Maybe I should say. And so it's been raining. You know, it rained at the end of last month. Rained now. I've had over 10 inches at my house in East Grand Plains.
Wow.
In just over 30 days.
Well, I hope the mountains are getting just as much. And
yes, and it's good timing as far as fireworks because, you know, it's going to put out a lot of
we didn't see any of those PSAs this year for people don't blow your friends up and neighbors or any of that stuff. I will say this is a 4th of July. Okay, so our chances are lower that we're going to blow each other up because of it's not
because
dry.
Of that. Yeah, we might for other reasons.
Yeah. But please clean up after yourselves. That's one of my big pet peeves is when you're driving around neighborhoods and it's crunch, crunch, crunch the next day because you're going over this massive pile of fountain and sparkler debris because they didn't clean up their mess after they were done having fun. So
and
be a good steward and clean it up.
The evening of the 4th, because the stuff's hot, you don't want to put it in the trash can because it might catch it on fire.
But at least don't leave it in the middle of the road.
Yeah, move it over and then go first thing in the morning and pick it up, which most people do. But there are some that
always
just
one
say,
or two.
Yeah, I'm done.
Yeah, I was always one or two. Be good stewards of it. We get to enjoy these things in this country, but the onus is on us to be responsible with them and be neighborly with that stuff.
That the onus is on us.
Yeah, it is. The onus is on us. I should get that on a T-shirt.
I know, that's really cool. Deep.
It is deep like mine. Never mind. I was gonna do another bad joke, but I'll let it go. But yeah, definitely. So again, it'll be the 24th, the 4th Thursday, right?
22nd. July 22nd, Thursday at 9 a.m.
And it's at the county commission chambers at the main building there. Come on down. If you've never been, and you go to the county admin building, go to the main entrance.
Keep going straight.
And keep going straight. You're going to bump right into the county commission chambers there.
And just a quick note, I'm sure we're running out of time, but if you're going downtown, or we're downtown yesterday, I think they're probably done with it today. One of the projects that was on our ICIP several years ago, and we got funding for, was replacement of courthouse windows.
They were doing that yesterday.
They were doing that yesterday.
I saw
with
them
the
up
lift
there.
And so we started out, the opinion of probable cost by the architect that originally did the thing for us was like $450,000 to replace the windows in the courthouse. So then we got some money and moved forward with that and hired the architectural firm that was going to go ahead and flesh this out and make sure we did everything according to the state historic preservation. They came back with a estimate of probable cost of $880,000. So, okay, well, that's about double. And then we went out for bids. Well, it was over $1 million.
Wow.
Actually. So we didn't have enough money to do the whole thing. So we started at the dome because those windows were absolutely falling apart.
The worst ones.
They were horrible. And those have all been replaced. And then the third floor, which have all the divided lights at the very top, you can see them there. Those were replaced this week. That's what the lift was there for.
Okay.
They replaced a few others on the roof.
Because I saw him up there and it was raining at the time. I was like, man, that guy drew the short straw.
And the good news is, we got the first round of funding and that took care of the top. We said, well, we're going to have to really scrape to do the rest because that's a lot of money to replace windows. But it's a great historic building. It's one of the jewels that we have
Absolutely.
here in our area.
Just note to the public, though, if you buy a historic building, it's very expensive to maintain.
Expensive.
They just are.
Well, the legislators came back last year, gave us some additional money, so we'll be able to start working on the lower floors, the first and second floor, not the garden level or the basement. They've been taken care of already, but those other levels will be done soon.
Good deal.
Or get started on them soon. Another side note.
Yeah.
They were going to throw those windows. I said, oh, no. Don't throw away those old historic windows.
Yeah, we could do them.
They're in horrible condition, but I said they're old historic windows. There's a lot of people that would be interested in having one. So Chaves County has an auction.
Okay.
Called, what is that called? govdeals.com. And Chaves County's listed on there. We saved those windows. We're going to put them up for auction.
Okay.
So who knows what they'll, maybe they'll bring $100 a piece. I don't know. They're in pretty bad shape, but I do want to encourage people, if you're interested in a piece of history, we'll provide a letter from Chaves County, say, they were original windows. And that.
Maybe we can send one over to the Historical Society, stick in the archive there or something. That might be a good idea, or at least a piece of one.
So we're going to have those tall, thin windows off the dome. The recognizable windows, those and the ones that are 12 over 12 lights or whatever they are, they're on the front. There's a couple of different sizes. There were a few around the side on the top of the roof. They're just one light over one light that people wouldn't recognize as courthouse stuff. So we did go ahead and destroy those. But those upper windows are so recognizable. We're going to give people a chance to buy one so they can put it in their shop or whatever.
I want to tell people, because most people don't only go to the courthouse, so they got to see a judge or pay a fine or something, so they don't really spend a lot of time hanging out in there. They go down to their courtroom. Yeah, they don't want to get. But if you get done early or you don't have a lot going on, go to the courthouse and see. They've got like the museum there. They got a lot of visual things to see and learn, because it's a historical building, and if you go, like after you're through the rotunda, keep walking towards the front, you can go and see the little museum there that's got like stuff from the jail,
the original jail,
the jail stuff, documents and things that some of our founding folks were involved with.
And there's photographs, even if the little museum is closed, which it is sometimes, and it had been for the last year or so because of COVID. But there are photographs on the wall. There's a photo of a guy hanging from a rope on the dome, replacing the light bulbs on the fancy trim that's up there.
And it just puts all this in perspective and what that building's about. So
one other thing that I almost forgot, we're about to kick off our elevator at the courthouse.
All right.
And that was a project that was on our ICIP. When I first started for the county, I started really pushing for that elevator, and we were able to get a community development block grant. Legislators helped us out. The county had to kick in some money. Elevators are not cheap. They're homing in on being done with that. We should be getting our certificate of occupancy from the building inspector very soon, and at that point, then it's going to be open, or right after that, be open to the public to start actually using.
Okay.
So if you don't want a 2-mile trek up the ramp, you can take the elevator.
Now you got the express route or the scenic route.
There you go.
Well, dad joke coming in 3, 2, 1. That sounds very uplifting.
Very good.
But that's a long time coming. But although to me, that switchback thing is history in and of itself in some ways.
It is. It's just there's the spirit of the law, or the intent, and then the letter of the law, and that meets the letter of the law. The letter of the law only can rise so much. You have to have a landing, has to be a certain width, has to have handrails. All that it meets. Does it make it easy for someone to get in the courthouse? No, but it does meet the letter.
We
of the
should
law.
just take that picture, put it in the archives in the museum, and say "Government in Action."
Well, that's a whole big long story about how that ramp came to be anyway, but I'm just very thankful we've got the elevator now to assist people.
Yeah.
And it'll be much better if it's icy outside too. You don't go down an icy slope.
I'm telling you, we should just do a 5K every year. The courthouse,
the courthouse 5K.
The 5K. We just go up and down that thing. Keep that as tradition. But that's great to see. And folks, again, 22nd, that's going to be the ICIP meeting. If you've got things you want to hear, talk about, bring to the to the attention of the commission, that is your opportunity to do it. They could probably go to the county website and see. Can they see any of the ICIP list now, or what the current one is?
I don't know if it's on there or not. When I get back today, I'll check and see if it is, and we'll see if we can put a link up for that so that people can see what's on there currently
and what's on there,
and an encouragement to make suggestions.
Yeah, absolutely,
because that's what it takes.
Well, and that's what we all, and like you said, this bridge we were talking about going out to the landfill. That's something that people that are in that area all the time see the need, but if you're not in that area, you don't see that, and so you got it. And it's we got amazing commissioners that get all over the place, but there are parts of the world or parts of the county that they don't get the chance to get to from time to time,
and we get focused on other things, and it's really good when the people come and tell us what they need, and we can respond like we're supposed to do.
Sure,
that's great.
Well,
and you're right, we have great commissioners who are very receptive. They'll take a phone call from anyone.
Yeah.
They'll address any problem.
Yeah, we all. This is our county. This is our place. We all want to do our part to make it a great place to live, work, and be a part of our community. And so this is how we do that, by you participating in meetings like this and coming out and talking. And this is why you have county commissioners. If you're like, well, I don't know about, but if you have a problem in your area, in your neighborhoods, in your homes, don't hesitate to reach out to your commissioner, bring those to your attention. That's what they're there for, so they can look into those things and help you, at least get an answer, if not resolve your problem, at least get an understanding on why it's happening that way,
And we met with the mayor, the city manager, a couple of city councilors the other day, county commissioners, myself. We met and we were talking about different things that affect the city and the county, because we work together on a lot of different projects.
Yeah.
We're constantly in touch with each other.
We chew a lot of the same dirt. We got to work together.
One of the things that they've been working on, was in the newspaper last week, was the new park area by the railroad, because they're trying to connect that entire arts district.
Yeah.
I think they call it the arts circuit. I can't remember exactly what the term is that they're using for it. But one of our
arts
ICIP,
and culture or something.
Arts and culture.
Yeah.
One of our ICIP projects that's been on the list for 10 or 12 years, I think, is what we call the Cultural Plaza. So we have the courthouse between 4th and 5th Street. So if you continue down 4th Street, you find the parking lot on the other side of Virginia, and behind that, there's a big gravel lot up against the railroad track, railroad right away. We, for years, have had a plan in there for a park of sorts, maybe a small stage. A lot of the events that take place on the courthouse lawn could be done back there. You could have small concerts.
Yeah.
But a big part of it is public bathrooms. We want to put public bathrooms there so that people who do come for our events like we're having today will have a place that they can go, because businesses don't want 100 people a day going through their bathrooms. I can't say that I blame them.
Yeah.
And they actually do a great job.
Like a downtown rest
people.
area. Yeah.
Yeah, kind of, for certain events, we couldn't leave it open all the time, obviously, but we could open the gates, and events like this, people could come and go, use the bathroom.
Yeah. Maybe have a water filling station or something.
Yeah, lots of stuff. And that all kind of ties right in with what the city's doing. And that was one of the things we discussed the other day, is that, I don't know if it'll happen this year, but, that particular thing may need to rise in priority, so that it will help tie their whole thing together.
That area's developing quicker than,
we're just really excited. We're all on the same page. Everybody's working towards the same common goals to make Roswell and Chaves County a better place. So.
Absolutely. So please come take a part of it. Go to the county's website.
Right.
You can learn about everything here. If you have questions, if you don't even know who your commissioner is, you can find that part out, and then you can start talking there. But mark it on your calendars for July 22nd at the county admin building, the chamber building there, 9 a.m.
9 a.m.
9 a.m. on the 22nd. Come on out and bring your list of questions and concerns, or just come listen to see what they have to say.
And I don't really know what the format will be. I mean, it'll be up to the chairman to decide how he's going to address all this. But certainly bring your stuff, and you'll get a chance to speak
trust me, this is what the commission wants it to, because they want guidance. They don't want to just have to make decisions based. They want input from their constituents. They want to know what you're thinking so they can help factor that into their decision making.
If you just take, the ideas in one person, all you'll have is biscuits and gravy with the biscuits turned upside down. So we need the input from everyone to make sure that we get good, valid stuff.
Absolutely. So please come on out, get support it, and then go to the county website, look, and then, of course, come on out and have fun this week here in Roswell and everything with the UFO
fun
Fest.
Time? Seeing all the people downtown and all the exciting stuff happening.
Yeah, it's good for everybody. So, and if you get some folks and you've got some favorite things that you want to show them out in the county, you take them out there and show it to them. All that good too. Be good ambassadors for us. Is there anything we missed, Bill, that we want to share?
I think we've covered about everything. Let's see.
Okay.
I have a whole list here. I was surprised. I thought I was going to print 2 pages yesterday. I pushed print. I went to the printers. Oh, no. I printed 5 years worth of ICIP. And a lot of this, has to do with, each of the volunteer fire departments, for instance.
Sure.
They do their ICIP, and 5 years from now, they may want a certain kind of truck, so they put it in now.
Sure. I'm a little, maybe it's not a quick question, but I know. Do you guys like compare notes with the city on like their ICIP versus your to almost work together? It's like, okay, well, if we're asking for this, that'll increase resources for us here. And I mean, is there some kind of compare and contrast between the city and the counties?
We don't
ICIP?
really have. I don't want to say a coordinated effort. We do talk. We do kind of know what the others have going.
Yeah.
That's something that we are always trying to improve is our communication.
Sure.
We're also, I told you we met with the city and the county the other day, and we're trying to work that out so we can include the school districts and stuff too, because we all need to be on the same page.
We pull resources. Especially.
Exactly. And that's one of the things, one of the areas that we do communicate somewhat, but not real structured.
Something
so
that
we
maybe
probably do need to improve that. That's a good point.
Because I'm wondering if
that's the reason we need people to come out and say, have you thought about maybe?
Well, if
it's a simple thing, but you kind of get wrapped up in what you're doing and overlook the fact that you do have those opportunities.
Like if we've got a city ICIP list and a county ICIP, between those 2 lists, we could cover all bases if we put the right things on the list.
And we usually have a pretty good understanding of what the other one wants to really push and to prioritize, and so we try to back each other's play. Cool.
That's what I was kind of. I figured there had to be at least some. What are they asking for? You know what? Since they're asking for this, maybe it's better if we ask for this. That way, we're covering more.
Exactly, and that's kind of like I say the cultural plaza that we have on our ICIP for the bathrooms and stuff.
Ties together.
Ties right to the city, and we like to bring those points forward when we're talking to legislators, because they love nothing more than to see us getting along, working well together, spending the money wisely that they give to us to and then make our whole community better.
And they can put a nice bow on the project at the end and then use that as a reason to reelect them.
Right.
To state to legislative office.
and I mean, they have done a great job.
That's how it works.
Got my vote.
That's how that works. Absolutely. It's but I mean, even at the state level and all that too. Because they want things to make them look good too. So if we do all the legwork and they're like, that makes me look good, I'll do. I'm just saying I'm not saying that's exactly how it goes.
Well, that's not their. I don't think they set out with that goal, but it's a nice little bonus that they get.
Absolutely.
They stick their neck out to help us, and they deserve to get a little pat on the back.
Absolutely. So, again, get involved, and especially if you've got thoughts and things, and if you're those Facebookers, the social media that share all your wonderful opinions and ideas, great. Share them in front of people that actually make a difference, not your neighbors and your friends that you're just ticking off all the time. Well, Bill, as always, have an awesome 4th of July and UFO festival weekend here. Stay dry.
Yeah, we're going to have fun. My son and daughter, or my daughter and son-in-law, I guess he won't mind if I call him son. We'll see.
He's like, hey, just bump up my inheritance.
They're going to be here this afternoon. We'll do our annual, we project a movie on the side of the garage. I have a big screen that I built, and so we project a movie on the 4th, and we have fun with that.
Well, that'll be fun. So do a little family time.
I don't know what the movie's this year. Sometimes it's pretty cool. We did Sandlot the first year. We did The Birds one year. That was kind of crazy.
Ooh, a little Hitchcock,
screen.
Yeah. That's still, I watched that movie when I was a kid, and to this day, I bet if I watched it now, I wouldn't be nearly as creeped out. But in my head, that's horrifying, that movie. And I'm just like, to this day, I don't think I've watched it once since I was horrified as a kid. I was like,
that's a Hitchcock was really good.
Yeah. Well, it's different, kids. I mean, you have all your CGI and they just put it in your face now. Hitchcock and all that, they never really show you the thing. They just give you the innuendo and the thought about it. And that's way more ominous than actually seeing it sometimes.
You know, it's not blood and gore, chainsaw massacres and that.
It sets the table for your own imagination to take
do
it down.
Things worse. Yeah.
That's so kids, pick up an old Hitchcock if you want.
Really.
Give it a try here. But well, good. We'll have some fun with that, and
thank you.
We'll see you here in a few weeks, I guess.
Yeah, we'll be. Will and I are going. Commissioner Cavan and I are going to Washington D.C. Leave the middle of next week.
Okay.
Be up there for about a week, talking to some legislators there, trying to shape things for our future here in the county, and then we'll be back and have a commission meeting and have plenty to talk about, I'm sure, next time.
Absolutely. Well, enjoy your D.C. trip there, and at least you'll miss the cicadas, I think.
Yeah.
I think you're going to miss them. They're about dying out over there. The 17 years.
Oxymoron. Enjoy your D.C. trip. I'm not sure that that's the most enjoyable place that I could be anymore.
I'm from there, so I know where to go if you want fun stuff. But yeah, you're going to work, so you don't get to enjoy it. I have
been there in the past and have enjoyed it immensely, but I'm not sure that I would enjoy it as much anymore. It's been several years.
This is true. Well, go outside the Beltway and hit some places out there.
Cool. The Potomac.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Oh, well, safe travels, and we'll see you next time, okay?
Great.
All right. Take care. It is 8:55. Let us